So, who are you? Where are you from? How long have you been involved in pole vault, and how did you get into it?
My name is Philippe Collette. I'm a French guy, 60 years old. I'm in pole vault for a long time now, almost 45 years. I was in the national team, get national record, twice Olympian, and my PR was 19.5, I think, in feet, 5 meter 94, and I did it 1990.
At what age did you start jumping?
I learned pole vault quite early. I was like 12, 13 years old, but then I only pole vault when I was like 18 years old.
How many years have you been involved in the summit? How many years have you come?
Oh, I think first time I came here, I bring some very young French athletes, female, 1997, I think, first time.
How would you describe your relationship with UCS Spirit?
Quite good. Actually, I'm the distributor in France and Europe since 1989. So I was jumping with Spirit pole, and then I start my business with Spirit pole 34 years ago.
So you had a very successful career as a professional athlete. When did you make the decision that you wanted to continue at coaching for the rest of your life? Did you feel like you had a duty to continue coaching?
I was a coach when I was an athlete. I was already coaching when I was like 15 years old. So my father was a coach, and I always coached. And I coached my wife. I coached some sprinters, runners, decathlon, pole vault. So it's in my blood forever.
Could you describe to me a little bit about, I guess, your coaching ventures in Europe? Do you go to a lot of conferences? Do you work with a lot of athletes outside of your club?
First, I'm just a volunteer. I'm training, I'm coaching, but it's not my job. In France, we don't have much conference and stuff like that. The thing is, I mean, Europe, it's many countries and quite small countries, so we meet quite often with all the coaches. So we split a lot, and we met often. So that's why we don't need that much kind of conference. And and coach our pole vault coach are close from each other in terms of. We have no problem to talk to the athletes, to coach some other athletes. It's easy. It's in our culture.
How do you feel your presence is received when you come to speak to American coaches? Do you think that they?
Actually, I don't know. I mean, what I feel is that they are interested to know what's our system is, because we have quite a lot of success for a very long time, and still a small country. So people are interesting and often come to me and ask questions and try to understand and like we all should do. I mean, pick up some stuff everywhere, and then you do your own mayonnaise.
Based on your experience with the American approach to pole vaulting, could you highlight maybe some differences that you believe are between the approach of pole vaulting in America and Europe?
No, not much. I mean, it was probably different 30 years ago, but now that I don't think there is much different. The way of coaching and the understanding of the technique and the training, I mean, bases are the same now everywhere. What is different is the system. You have high school, then you have college, high school, university, which is a completely different system from our country. We don't do sports at school. Actually, we don't do sport at university either. So people they do sports in the club. So it's mean that you can also probably start a little bit earlier than here. And also, main difference also is that you can keep going longer. Here in the US, if you're not a world-class athlete when you finish university, most of the people just quit and they go to work and okay, another life start. In France or even in Europe, it's easier for a vaulter to keep going even after and even if he is not so good. I mean, he can come to the club anyway and forever.
That kind of leads me into my next question. Yeah, if you finish university and you're not world class, you're not going to be able to really make a living from pole vaulting. Does the French system support their athletes in a way financially where they can?
Poorly, very poorly, finally. Anyway, you really have to be a world-class athlete to be able to get enough money to live with. Otherwise, you have to work, or you cannot be professional if you're not very good athletes anyway.
So similar to American athletes, most of them are working part-time jobs.
You have many who does that, or they try to stay at university longer and find some way to get small money to keep going on track.
Do you think pole vault is generally more popular in Europe than in America?
Pole vault is popular in Europe, and it's popular in France because we had a lot of champions for a very long time, and also because pole vault can go out of track, which is very important. It means that you can go and make a competition into the city, in a mall, anywhere, on the beach, in a ski resort. And we do that in France for a very long time. I mean, we jump under Eiffel Tower in the 80s, beginning of the 80s. I mean, so we are used with that. We move out of the track to promote pole vault, and now with the fact that you can make official competition out of track, more and more competition of track, which if you make a performance, it's official. Before it was not. We call that demonstration, which is just a show, but nothing official. But we do it for a very long time. So yeah, French knows about pole vault, and yeah, they like it.
You mentioned that you don't have that many large conferences, so could you maybe speak on the uniqueness of the Pole Vault Summit and why it's important and why you look forward to attending?
The first reason is I bring athletes here just because I know that they will love the atmosphere. And now with social media and easy communication, when you're a pole vaulter in France, they know that there is an incredible competition here. it's not that amazing for the top competition, but it's just amazing because of number of vaulter during the day, and that makes it really special. And it's an incredible promotion for pole vault, and it's a lot of energy here. So that's why every time I bring some French athletes, they really love it, and they want to come back, even if it's no money, even if it's not a real show. I mean, it's not like we have competition in France or Europe with a big focus on the elite athletes. We have the TV, live TV, live web, big display, lots of music. It's really organized like a show, so people and jumpers, vaulters can be very good. The atmosphere here is completely different, but that's also unique, really unique, and that's the only place in the world where you could find that. So that's the reason we love to come.
So a popular idea of kind of categorizing technical differences is the thought of like a model, like the Petrov model, maybe the Sean Barber model, maybe a Kendricks model. If you were to describe a Philippe Collette model, how would you describe that? What kind of fundamental things do you consider to be most important?
First, I won't say that it's myself model. It's more a French way of pole vaulting. Like I said, I mean, we love to play pole vault. We are very focused at the beginning and during all time on technique, and I mean, we love the technique. We love the technique, and we really work hard to try to make the guys jump good technically. But it's so many ways to jump. So many different athletes, big, tall, small. Anyone can jump high. So you just have to adapt the technique to the quality of the guy. But then, if you talk about top performance, of course you need to be fast, you need to be crazy, you need to really love this sport, and be very not aggressive, but you cannot just jump pole vault like you go running, or even long jump. I mean, you really need emotional. You really need to give your heart on what you're doing.
What do you think are some of the most important factors for a vaulter's longevity? I would think that heart would definitely be a factor for a vaulter being able to continue their career for as long as possible. But how does one take care of their body in order to have the greatest amount of success over the years?
Yeah, I mean, pole vaulting is hurting the body. I mean, so many people have some hamstring problem and because of back problem, and of course, if the technique is good, it's a very important point, because if the technique is good, you will have less physical problem. But then you really have to care. You have to be focused on what you're doing. You have to keep working on the technique, and of course build the strength, the speed, the gymnastic ability. But then, if you want to jump and have a long career, you really have to take care about the technique.
All right, that's all the questions I have for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Pleasure.